I wanted to go live and talk about what is happening today. Elon Musk dropping some new tweets about crypto, lots of drama, lots of emotion. As I'm making this, Bitcoin is down to 45,000 or 46,000. ETH is down to 3,500. There's potentially news that Tesla is planning to sell its Bitcoin. We don't know if that's happened, but Elon Musk did tweet that it looks like Tesla might be selling their Bitcoin. Let me just give a background on this, because I've just been following this Twitter drama all day, and I was like, I have to go live. I want to talk to the hyperchange community about this and see what you all think. But originally, this all started, Tesla bought. I kind of want to give a little history, maybe a repeat for some of y'all, but I think it's worth going through. So Tesla buys Bitcoin. 1.5 billion, 7% of their cash reserves, totally crazy move, but hyperchange, some of the millennial Tesla shareholders were super hyped about it, but very controversial overall because of Bitcoin's energy usage and Tesla's mission to transition the world to sustainable energy. All of a sudden, Tesla now sees a spike in energy usage on the Bitcoin network, decides to sell their Bitcoin or stop accepting purchases in Bitcoin, and Elon Musk has been exploring Dogecoin. And we know Elon, it's so interesting because there's so many layers to this where all my friends are like, oh, why is Elon, pumping Dogecoin? Isn't Dogecoin a joke? Well, Elon Musk is trying to explore and find a cryptocurrency that has less of an energy impact than Bitcoin, which is sort of confusing to me because it's also like Tesla, SpaceX, don't you have enough going on? Why do we need to work on a currency? Elon Musk founded PayPal, so he's thought about the financial system a lot. And those are some of the tweets he said today. Actually, I'm all over the place. I just got to read these tweets, and then we can jump into the conversation. So it originally started with this huge thread by Peter McObnoxious. He changed his name now, but Peter McCormack, who's this big Bitcoin guy, and had this whole thread about hating on Elon Musk for buying Bitcoin, such an amateur move by Elon Musk, kind of low blow, calling him out, I'm this Bitcoin expert. Look at how much of an amateur Elon is in crypto. And then Elon replies to him being obnoxious threads like this are the reason why, obnoxious threads like this make me want to go all in on Doge. So Elon trolls him and then gets huge hates on Twitter. And then Elon replies to this guy called the Chainlink God, ETH 2.0. Elon, while the thread is a bit adversarial in its tone, it does have in truth that in Dogecoin is in orders of magnitude more centralized in both in terms of node count and supply distribution than existing crypto networks like Bitcoin. People will lose their money when these whales dump. And then Elon says Bitcoin is actually highly centralized, with the supermajority controlled by a handful of big mining, aka hashing companies. A single coal mine in Xinjiang flooded, almost killing miners, and Bitcoin hash rate dropped 35%. Sound decentralized to you? So awesome stuff from Elon there. And then says, hey, cryptocurrency experts, ever heard of PayPal? It's possible maybe that I know that you realize how Bitcoin money works. And so Elon Musk is getting pissed off and frustrated about all these tweets apparently. And then someone says, and this was a deleted tweet, Crypto Whale says Bitcoiners are going to slap themselves next quarter when they find out Tesla dumped the rest of their Bitcoin holdings. With the amount of hate Elon Musk is getting, I wouldn't blame him. And Elon Musk replies, indeed. So now that tweet has been deleted. So this was this all happens at once earlier today, and I linked to Elon's Twitter so you can check the tweets for yourself. But Elon said that, so he's basically saying that, yeah, this makes me/Tesla want to dump our Bitcoin holdings, and that's why the price of Bitcoin crashed, because Tesla added this huge amount of Bitcoin to their balance sheet and might now be selling it. So interesting reversal here. I mean, originally I was a huge fan of Tesla buying Bitcoin, but when I saw the Bitcoin energy, the network on the energy usage of the network spike, I was like, great that Elon's looking into this. When he talks about Dogecoin and even says here, if Dogecoin can basically reduce the emissions or speed or cost to do transactions by 100x, this could be usable. I want to work with the Dogecoin devs. He's trying to find a way to make this work and to find a cryptocurrency for payments. But the one part I keep getting lost in my mind is okay, Tesla bought Bitcoin on its balance sheet to have a reserve against the inflation that's occurring and sort of this melting ice cube of cash. Okay, we have 20 billion in cash. Cash is losing value. We want to add a little Bitcoin. That's like digital gold, a store of value on the balance sheet. That's very different than a payment method for everyday transactions. And so I think that is getting a little bit caught up in everything here, and that Elon's saying, well, Dogecoin actually might be a better way to do transactions. And you think about Bitcoin, this trillion-dollar asset, huge, very hard to move. One of Bitcoin's best things is that the governance is so slow. It's moves inch by inch, but that sort of stable governance is a reason why it's so awesome. So, and Bitcoin's this digital gold layer, not necessarily built for these rapid payments or to radically decrease the emissions of the network. That's not what people on Bitcoin want. And so Elon, by going to Dogecoin, which also, and I want to make a whole Dogecoin video, which I still will, hasn't had a code contribution in 4 years. I like this tweet on this GitHub contributions to Dogecoin. This was like a code project or a joke project that this guy coded in like 2 hours as a copy of Bitcoin. Now it can be mined with Litecoin as well. But so no technological work has been put into Dogecoin. So that's why you're seeing all these people like Elon Musk is such an amateur. There's no, technology behind Dogecoin. But it's like, actually, here's why I think Elon's a genius, because that assumes the stagnation fallacy if Dogecoin doesn't change. But Dogecoin's a much smaller cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. So Elon Musk, with his clout, with his Twitter following, with his coders, could actually start contributing to Dogecoin. And because Dogecoin's a sort of isolated lost meme coin project, those changes, which would be maybe radical if he was trying to push them on the Bitcoin network, could be pushed on the Dogecoin network. So I'm actually kind of for that. Elon, let's get the community going and let's start pushing changes for the Dogecoin network to optimize it for sort of payments, to optimize it for your Tesla Powerwall, to be mining with excess energy. Let's optimize Dogecoin for that. Bitcoin could still be its store of value. So I love what Elon's thinking here. And this is why I wanted to unpack this and like kind of made a joke on my thoughts of this and like wanted to take a light tone with this, because I know a lot of people are freaking out like, oh my God, Elon's ruining my portfolio. Like, I have Tesla, I have Bitcoin. When Tesla and Elon got into Bitcoin, it was like 20 grand. Now it's 45 grand. So even though they're going to sell it, still way higher. And I would argue it's overall good for the adoption of Bitcoin. But I think this is a much bigger debate than just what Tesla and Elon is doing. This is the debate of the currency of the world and humanity in this moment, that the dollar isn't, we're ending the reign and era of the dollar, the excessive printing that's going on. It's not backed by anything anymore. And cryptocurrencies are rising. This is now a multi-trillion-dollar asset class that moves billions and billions of dollars. That is a real legitimate asset class that's emerging, that has so much potential and is in so many ways weaving the financial and energy markets together. And so that's why I think Elon Musk's role in this is extremely, he's a thought leader in the space and should be, and this is a problem we should all be thinking about. And just because there isn't some answer that we can all get behind, we can't all be like, oh, it's Bitcoin, so screw everyone who doesn't like Bitcoin. Oh, it's Doge, so screw everyone who doesn't like Doge. Like, or, I hate that kind of mentality, and I love this kind of like, we're working it through. And that's why from a first principles basis, when I earlier video about Doge, I was like, I actually love what Elon's doing here. Like, asking questions, being like, can we work with Doge to make it more efficient? The whole point Elon got into this was saying Bitcoin's energy usage is spiking. That might not be good. So let's look at an alternative which uses less energy to transact value. Like, the nature of that's good. And then I think it's so interesting, the humanity in all of this, of like Elon getting wrapped into like some tweet that's like breaking rule number 1, like don't reply to your haters on Twitter, that just feeds them. And then Elon got frustrated, it looks like, and then basically agreed to sell his Bitcoin. So now I'm trying to unpack and process this, because I don't know. On some level, this is kind of classic Elon Musk and Tesla to make, radical decisions, change quickly. Tesla's run by Elon, whatever he says goes. If he wants to sell Bitcoin, they're going to sell Bitcoin. So I think that's all in flux right now. My guess is like they're on the phone talking about this with lawyers, being like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, what are we doing? But I don't know, part of me has this deep confusion here, because it's like Bitcoin was a store of value. Doge isn't necessarily a store of value. It might be a great currency for micropayments, but it's not a store of value. So why is Elon dabbling with it so much? What horse does he have in this payments race? That's sort of something that I've been scratching my head in, of like, why is he so fascinating with Doge? Why does he want to make Doge so awesome? He put out a poll, which 4 million people voted on, to ask whether Tesla should accept Dogecoin as a currency. And he basically said, and people said yes. So now they might let you pay in Doge. So, and there was also a SpaceX mission that was just paid for, something with Doge 1. So I don't know. I think there's so much at stake here. And I see you guys like getting hate in the comments. Like, so many people have been like, Gally, I'm canceling you. I'm never watching this again. Like, I just think it's so interesting that, look, I love Bitcoin. And I think the key debate in all of this is cryptocurrencies represent this amazing opportunity to accelerate the transition to renewable energy. And this is something that I only recently began to appreciate. I was like, oh, Bitcoin, we're gonna have to spend a ton of energy on it. That's one thing, but energy isn't pollution. There's a big difference between that. And Bitcoin actually enables you as a unique buyer in the energy markets. So if you're building, your solar farm, you can tap in and sell into these crypto markets and turn your energy into money. And that is incredibly valuable, and that didn't exist before. So that core technology that got us so excited at the Tesla earnings call, that is the reason why I thought Tesla and Elon were dabbling with cryptocurrencies, was because ARK Invest and Cathie Wood, one of the largest Tesla stakeholders, partnered with Square to put out this paper saying the energy asset owners of today are the Bitcoin miners of tomorrow. And so Tesla, as this new energy company, is setting itself up to own a lot of these energy assets that are the backbone of the energy system, and therefore the backbone of the financial system. And so, to me, that hasn't changed. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are still an amazing avenue for renewable energy assets and solar farms to tap into. And so then you think about what Elon Musk is doing with Starlink, giving everybody access to the internet. So there's just so much overlap here. On one hand, it's like, what is Elon Musk doing getting involved with Dogecoin? On the other hand, it's like Tesla and Starlink are barreling towards the crypto future at a gazillion miles an hour, and you have to figure out the best way to navigate all this. And that's what I think Elon's doing. And let's nerd out on crypto for a sec, because everyone's like, the tech in Doge sucks, the tech in Doge sucks. And I mentioned briefly, that's the stagnation fallacy. The tech in Doge can change because Doge is small enough to where Elon, and I know some of my crypto people are like, oh, it's not decentralized. If you have a figurehead running your network, charging, increasing adoption. Well, look at Ethereum and Vitalik. So I think there's ways that can work. And I think, yes, you have these super decentralized crypto coins, and you also have more centralized, led by figurehead crypto coins. Why can't that be a duality that exists? That's where we're heading. Doge and Bitcoin. Those are those two dualities. And Elon can actually use his message and his engineering resources to improve the technology of Doge. So Doge doesn't have to stay as it is. He can actually make Doge better. And that's what he was trying to do on Twitter, was like, yo, who are the best Doge devs? I want to work with the Doge devs. And everyone's clowning on him because they're like, Doge devs aren't doing anything. But it's like, not yet, but maybe they could do something, and that would change Doge, and that would improve the technology, and that would make it worth something. And so that's why I said in my other video, like, and I actually guilty. I tried to buy Doge this weekend, and I couldn't do it because it was Binance, and like I had trouble setting up my Binance account. So I don't own Doge. I still own Bitcoin, but I tried to buy a little Doge because I'm like, yes, it's a dumb meme currency, but I think anything could be used as currency. And if Elon decides it's Doge, that could help Doge. And so you have the network effect, which is a true part of the intrinsic value of a cryptocurrency increasing if Elon Musk adopts it. And you have the technological thing. It's like manifesting. He's manifesting his own prophecy, because if he gets dope developers to actually make the code better, all of a sudden Dogecoin will get better, and it will be, and so I think there's a beautiful thing going on here where Bitcoin is not ready to handle the entire global financial and payment system. It's just not ready. The network's breaking. It's polluting too much because people are using it. It's growing too quickly. Awesome growing pains to have. Let's keep it at that digital gold thing. But let's also work on a cryptocurrency that's optimized for payments, because that cryptocurrency that's optimized for payments or credits could have a huge role to play in accelerating the adoption of renewable energy assets by, allowing them to tap in with Starlink and subsidize on crypto networks. So I think I guess the missing puzzle piece that I'm putting all together here is that I think Elon genuinely wants to use Dogecoin as a piece of the Tesla ecosystem, and wants Dogecoin to be a thing, and wants, I don't know, that's my theory, and that's why he keeps dabbling with it. That's why he keeps trying to make it better. And so I don't know. On one hand, I think it's awesome. I think there's something truly there in terms of technology that we need to solve. But on the other hand, I'm like, this is a little bit of a distraction. And that's why if you look at my moonshots, so I'm like, Tesla should buy Bitcoin. Tesla should buy Bitcoin, right? I was all about that. But there was a big caveat to that, right? Which was like, yo, this is going to cause drama, bro. Like, this is going to cause drama. Like, Bitcoin's energy usage. Oh my gosh, like Elon's doing this. Like, so much drama there. Tesla coin. So that was another moonshot that came out of this. Thank you for all that. So why doesn't Tesla make its own cryptocurrency backed and mined by renewable energy? Not that easy. Of course, it's way easier to tweet like Tesla should make Tesla coin. It's easy for me to make a video about that, but for them to actually launch and build their own cryptocurrency that works, like that's a little more work, And so that's what Elon recently came out and said on Twitter. So Elon actually commented on this and was like, yo, like we actually might, if Doge can't pull it off, we might build our own cryptocurrency. And so now you're just like, wow, Elon Musk has this is the most exciting part of all of this to me. This is what has actually changed, and this is the only thing that matters to take away from this, is Elon has the hunger to reinvent the financial system again. It used to be like, all right, I'm doing Tesla, I'm doing SpaceX, I'll leave PayPal, I'm gonna let other people fill out the banking financial system. Elon Musk has got the bug back. He's like an entrepreneur who can't stop thinking about it, and he got the bug. He knows crypto's here. He knows there's big change coming. He knows moves are happening. So that's what I love about that. A cryptocurrency of some type will be needed for trade between the Mars colony and Earth. Johnny Spacer. Interesting, yeah. And you're right, you're like thinking about Elon Musk, you're like, you don't want to rely on the dollar. And wow, there's so many theories about this. Like, yeah, I don't even know, like the petrodollar theory, right? Like oil used to be priced in dollars, and that's like this whole kind of conspiracy theory of the financial system, but is actually kind of based in fact on some level of like, oil was traded in dollars, and that was a huge reason that dollars were a reserve currency for the world. And so then you're like, okay, well, if that's like the genesis of the dollar, we're all getting on this renewable energy economy. Like, what is the new backbone of the financial system? What is this reserve currency that the world has if it's not going to be the dollar, and we're getting away from that era? Let's make it some new meaningless internet meme coin. Why not? I'm kind of down with that. And I think as much as like, I don't know, I guess the point I'm trying to make with this live stream is like, I want to have a conversation about this, like why I think the hyperchange community is so awesome and why you all are so awesome and Twitter and everything's so awesome, because we're all passionate about this idea and we're all thinking about it. We're like, what is the best currency? Like, what currency are we going to use on Mars? How can we keep a really awesome, decentralized, secure financial system that offers opportunity to everybody with an internet connection, but also has emissions that are low? That's just not an easy problem to solve. Everybody wants this silver bullet. Everybody wants this like Elon to be the villain or the superhero, but the truth is totally in between. And we're all trying to figure out what is the best way to solve this all the problems we're facing together. And I think that's kind of a more optimistic tone that I wanted to bring to the conversation. So, and I love how everyone's like, you don't have to agree with Elon Musk about anything. Like, you know, if go back and watch my videos like 2 or 3 years ago when Elon is tweeting way too much stuff about short sellers and I'm like hating on Elon. I even made a video called Dear Elon where I'm like beefing and I'm like, Elon, like, I don't agree, you know? And now, here's what, okay, if you guys, if you want to be nitpicking, be like, Gally, can't agree with everything Elon says, like, be a little critical here. This was a little bit of an Iggy move, buying Bitcoin, tweeting he's going to sell Bitcoin, not going through his lawyers maybe. I'll give you that. The only mistake that Elon made here, I love every movement that he made to be like, Bitcoin's energy use is increasing. Let's look at that. Let's scheme on that. Like, let's rethink our purchase of Bitcoin. Like, it would be so lame for me if Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, saw the energy usage of Bitcoin go up, and didn't do anything. That would be like, you know, that would suck. That would be like Elon's just like every other MBA corporate executive, right? But it's like, nah, he sees that and he's legit about it. And he's like, actually, let's go back to the drawing board. When the facts change, I change my mind. I love that. So that's Elon, right? And everything he did there was perfect. But then the problem is he let some blogger, Bitcoin expert dude on Twitter with a bunch of followers have like a 30-slide thread about how he's a rookie at Bitcoin. And then Elon Musk replies being like, bro, you suck, which we all knew. We all knew this guy was whack, right? But then he's getting in the Twitter drama. And then he replies to the other guy being like, Elon, you're so salty, you're going to sell all Tesla's Bitcoin, right? And he's like, yeah, bam. Now Bitcoin loses $100 billion of value in 2 seconds because of that tweet. And it's like, Elon, like replying to haters on Twitter never gets you anywhere. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's right. Like that would be the one critique I would have of this situation is just like, you know, like just everything would be fine if Tesla just bought Bitcoin, was questioning Doge, was looking into Doge, and kept the Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Everything's fine. Nothing's actually changed. Like I'm already like, bro, like I'm a Bitcoin OG. Like I've had Bitcoin for a while. I've been fascinated in this. Like Bitcoin's up huge, dude. It's at 45 grand. Like when I started following Bitcoin, when I first heard about it, it hit 30 bucks. You know what I mean? Like my first Bitcoin purchases were like way under 1,000. So like the true Bitcoin OGs, I'm like the people whining that Bitcoin's down, like aren't even real Bitcoin people because Bitcoin's actually way up, right? Like, so, oh man, this is just like, we are watching financial history play out in real time right now. This is so epic. And like Elon, that's why I had to make this live stream. Because I was like, bro, like this is like everything's changing. Like Elon Musk is tweeting and changing his mind. This might dictate the future of all currency on the world. Like, bro, like stop watching Netflix, tune in. Like this is epic. And so I actually wanted to buy Dogecoin. I didn't buy Dogecoin because I couldn't figure it out. Remember, nothing on my show is financial advice. I own Tesla, I own Bitcoin, I own Ethereum. I'm all for the wild stuff. I wanted to dabble in Dogecoin. You want to know my theory on that? We're worth 60 billion, a payments network that's on every single Powerwall. That's sort of this new meme cryptocurrency. Like currency's a $300 trillion bucket. Right now, crypto is a 2 trillion. All of currency is a 300 trillion. If crypto replaces half of the fiat currency market, that's 150 trillion. Like we have so much room to go. Bitcoin can hit double digital gold, be 15 trill, be a million of Bitcoin, and you know that's only a fraction of the cryptocurrency market. These can all win. Doge, the meme currency that transacts, might actually be bigger than that digital gold unless they build the transactional currency on layer 2 on top of Bitcoin. But let's say they don't. Like who knows? I might want to have a bet on a different network, and that network is Doge at 60 billion. Let's say it goes to that, it's that transactional micropayment for all, you know, my Tesla Powerwall trades. I want to buy a robotaxi network. Elon Musk, Dogecoin it's so memeable. It's marketable. That's an asset. And so what if Dogecoin goes to 6 trillion? Because everybody's using it for micro meme payments, and then it inflates a little bit, and it's a great currency for transactions, but the second I want to store my value, I'll move it into Bitcoin. But Bitcoin will have a 15 trill double digital gold market cap, and Dogecoin has a 6 trill micro payments market cap. Why can't that be a thing? That could totally be a thing. And in that scenario, Dogecoin has 100x upside from here. In terms of network value, a little bit less because you have that 5% annual inflation, but that's still, you know, a dope return on your Dogecoin. I think Dogecoin could be $1, then go to $10 if that actually happens, maybe more. And like, this is just speculation. If it gets adopted as this payment system. So if you believe that Elon Musk will increase the brand of Dogecoin, I'd argue he does. If more people accept a cryptocurrency, it's worth more. The more people have heard about it, they're more likely to accept it. The longer they've heard about it, the more likely they are to accept it. It's called the Lindy effect. The longer technology exists, the longer it will continue to exist, kind of. So he's increased the network value, and now that's why this thing was so controversial about him talking to the developers of Dogecoin. But I thought it was genius, because it's like, bro, like, I hate to use the word manifest, but I love it. It's like he's manifesting. It's like, dude, if he gets better coders, Elon Musk, SpaceX, Tesla, he has Carpathy. He's got access to some of the smartest computer minds in the world. He is one. The dude is an incredible coder himself. Like, I don't know. I think it's the only thing, like, people are saying you're insane and irrational for liking Doge, but to me, like, that's insane and irrational, because the reality is, like, if better people start working on it, then it could improve. And so, I don't know, there's a lot of fascinating stuff here. And that's why it's like, there isn't a shooter, like, we're in chapter, like, 0.1. We're in the first inning of all of this, is kind of my bigger thesis. Okay, Ryan, thanks for the super chat. Elon, just thinking critically that everything can be improved. I love that. Just human and getting sucked into drama. Gally, you're killing it. Thank you. The fundamentals haven't changed. Ryan, I mean, I agree with you, Ryan, of course, bro. Not even because he gave me the super chat, but no, I feel that. Like, Elon is open to change and is trying to figure out the right thing to do. And that is the core of the situation. And I think it's so funny, because I actually think most people think that. If you take a second to think back this whole situation, you've been following it, you're like, yeah, like, Elon's trying to figure it out. That's what he always does. People are getting a little bit offended by his tweets. What else is new, right? But then you read these angry tweets and you're like, oh my God, everyone's mad, everyone's losing their money. But it's like, nah, dude, that's just Twitter. Twitter's not the real world. Like, most people don't actually care whether Elon picks Bitcoin or Doge, either one. And who cares? Whichever one he picks, he's like being cognizant of the fossil fuel emissions of that. So I love that. Twitter is the real world. Okay, do you have any questions for me? I've been ranting here. This is so fun. I wanted to hop on and just kind of share my ideas and spitball and scheme. So big fan. I'm just pumped that y'all decided to tune in. Okay. This is what, if Elon's anti-Bitcoin, he'll lose a lot of customers. This is what I would also like to encourage people to do. It's like, I've loved Bitcoin, not as like I'm all in on Bitcoin, but since 2013, I learned about it at college and like have just been fascinated by it, right? Like, it's interesting. Like, it's an economic experiment. It's such when you think about money and financial markets as an economist, this is so fascinating. This is a piece of history. Like, why can't Elon be fascinated with it? Why can't they just learn about it? Like why does everyone have to know the answers of all this right away? I think that's Elon's been playing this a long time, crypto candy. I don't think so, though. I think that's another thing about this is like, Elon's not actually planning this. Like, everyone thinks he has like some secret master plan to pump Doge. It's like, nah, he's actually not. He's like, dude, can we make Doge better? Let me see if I can get some devs on this. Let's tweet it, So I don't know, in the long run, deep down, I actually think, as much as Bitcoin maximalists are going to hate me for this, I think the layer 2 of Bitcoin, it doesn't work yet. I think that the scaling of Bitcoin will take longer than potentially the revamping of Dogecoin. So if you want to be real in the room right now, that's why I'm like, Elon, I get this. Y'all want me to be critical, and I will be if I should, but I don't think I should be critical here, because I think actually getting devs to work on Doge to move that faster, to optimize it for this, is so cool. And I think it has potential. And I'd love to see a reason why, and I think the geniusness of picking a cryptocurrency that's a little bit smaller than Bitcoin or Ethereum that you could actually impact is great if you want to optimize it yourself. And so